Welcome, folks, to my subscribers and to the people who are watching this channel. This is your boy ZTR, and this is going to be part 3 of my Tom Brady series of how he continues every single year to prove all these internet revolutionaries, these conspiracy theories, right, from the truth seekers to whoever is on who does videos trying to say sports is rigged and fake. He proves them wrong. He proves that every single year, especially since I've been on YouTube doing videos, that these people don't actually watch football at all. They don't watch sports. Okay, they busy hating on these athletes because they can't do the same thing. They think they live in an imaginary world that's not reality. All right, just because they watch WWE don't mean every sport is ran exactly the same way. It's not. Now, now before I continue, man, this is an individual who I want to do another video on. Because for the last 4 years, I've been roasting it. I've been torching this guy every single time. He has been wrong in almost every single prediction he makes. He keeps switching picks. Yet this guy wants people to put to his Patreon. He's just scamming his subscribers. Because he's too lazy to get a 9-to-5 job. Okay, this guy's not going to go back to school. He don't got no degree. But he feel he's the chosen one. Now, I was not going to even I was going to not base part 3 on him. Part 3 is going to be on Tom Brady and how he got drafted as the 6th round. I was going to share everybody. Tom Brady was passed up by like 29, 31 other NFL teams. Did nobody originally want Tom Brady at all. The only one who gave a damn about Tom Brady was Bill Belichick, because Bill Belichick saw something in him that nobody else saw. Now, 20 years later, you see a lot of teams have made, that's their one regret, is not drafting Tom Brady like they had a chance, like the Browns, the Jaguars, the Detroit Lions, the Arizona Cardinals. Tom Brady could have changed any one of those franchises. We wouldn't even be talking about the Patriots or the Buccaneers. But I'm going to show you the stupidity of this guy. This dude does not know what he's talking about. He needs something that's very seriously wrong with him. He need to go see a shrink. This man needs serious help. Okay, I don't hate RFG, the chosen one. I was done making videos because I got on his own subscribers for keep giving this guy a platform. It's their fault he's still here. But without further ado, let me just commentate, and I'm gonna prove him wrong on everything he says. Because this guy clearly doesn't watch football. He doesn't understand the sport at all. Neither has he ever played or put on helmets or shoulder pads.
Is back at it today, and I'm here to go ahead and give you guys the post Super Bowl thoughts. I've never been the kind of dude who would, try to blow up things in people's faces and say...
You have making your own predictions. Your predictions blew up in people's faces that they lost money. For the last 4 years, RFG, you've been losing people's money. You keep saying sorry, but you keep doing the same thing. You are no different than your Caucasian Jewish counterpart, a.k.a. Joshua Greenblatt's son. Again, my last video was on the True Seekers. I wasn't even going at you at all. I was not attacking your subscribers. I'd already done with them last year. RG, you gave me a reason to come after you. So once again, I got to show you how wrong you are and how stupid you are. And I'm going to prove to you that you need to be talking about something else. You need to leave these sports alone.
Nana boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not that kind of guy. But we all know, everybody with half of a brain in their head understands and fully realizes that what they saw last night was complete WWE at its finest.
Once again, and I've been telling y'all this for like the last 4 years, it is not WWE. Because RG, if this is really truly WWE, the Detroit Lions, the Arizona Cardinals, the Houston Texans, when they had J.J. Watt, Matt Schaub, and Andre Johnson. Matter of fact, when they had Arian Foster in 2012 when he was in the playoffs. Okay, that team would have won a Super Bowl by now. The Cleveland Browns has struggled. This is the first time the Browns have actually got a playoff win since they came back in '99. There's 2 different Browns teams. Okay, it's not WWE. Okay, people don't get to pick and choose which team they really want. The players on the team have to actually earn it. They got to bout out 31 other NFL teams who all want the same thing they do. You see, RFG, in reality, which I live in right now, there's winners and there's losers. It's just like playing a chessboard or on your PS4 or Xbox. Somebody gonna lose. Everybody can't win. I'm sorry, RFG. This is not the word. This is in the real world. Nobody always wins. There's winners and then there's losers. Okay, you are somebody that's not don't live in the real world. You live in some imaginary world inside your head, and you create a fake reality. Okay, I'm somebody who's lived this sports. I've been on losing teams. Okay. In my semi-pro career, I was never able to win a championship because the teams I was on was not that good, except for the Eagle and Blackhawks, which we lost the championship in the year I get hurt. Okay? And the last team I won 16 of those. Well, recently 17. They won, I believe, 2 years ago, before the shutdown. But this is just stupid, man. This is retarded. You think it's WWE? Matter of fact, in WWE, okay, this lets you know this is not WWE because women cannot compete. Now, in WWE, you've had China, rest in peace to Joni Lord, right? Yeah, Joni. She's finally in the Hall of Fame, but she's passed away a few years ago. But you had her, you had Beth Phoenix, and you recently had Nia Jax. Those women were able to compete amongst the men and wrestle and actually slam down men. And then you have this woman. Now, you all remember Antoinette Harris, don't you? You know, the female football player who came out and says that she wanted to play football. She wants to be the first female DB or strong safety or free safety, whatnot, to actually be playing amongst the NFL. She wanted to be drafted. Now, this woman was actually on, when we had the Rams, the Patriots, she was actually on that Toyota commercial. She was on Good Morning America with Michael Strahan, and then she got interviewed by 2 other media outlets. This young lady right here wanted to make history. Okay, you remember her. She said she wanted to play in the NFL. Now, the main reason why you don't see or hear from Tony or Antoinette Harris anymore, or Tony Harris, which is her nickname, is because either Michael Strahan himself, one of these NFL scouts, Roger Goodell, somebody contacted this woman and said that if you join NFL football, you're going to get seriously hurt. You're going to get killed. This is a woman who weighs around in between 140 to maybe 150 at best. 145. Yeah, she looks good. She's fine. But in the NFL, most of the guys, like from the kickers, most of these guys are 6'4" and 6'3" and above. The average weight is over 200 pounds. Y'all gotta understand this. And there's a reason why everybody can't play in the NFL. Now, this woman is a free safety. She's in one of the most toughest positions in football because if you're a free safety, you got to lay the hat. So if the NFL is really WWE like RFG just said it would, you would have already seen this woman here as a first-round draft pick. It would have been the biggest story. She would have been bigger than when Michael Sam announced that he was the first openly gay black lineman, right? And got drafted, which, by the way, his career got cut short that season. The St. Louis Rams cut him because they don't want homosexuality in their locker room. Now, Jerry Jones actually took him, but he was on the practice squad. Jason Garrett didn't even play him. Okay? So just let that sink in, folks. This woman did not go to the NFL because nobody's going to draft her. Somebody actually told her, whether it's her parents or family or somebody from the NFL or a scout or a coach told her, because she was at a D3, but they told her, like, look, you're not going to make it. If you ever want to get married and have kids, you can't play football. The doctors the physicians probably told her she ain't going to make it. They don't suggest her get drafted because she's not going to even make it. She's not going to make it past training camp. And that's what RFG and a lot of these YouTube's conspiracy theories don't tell you. That everybody don't make it. There's at least 80, 90 people who try out for these all 31 NFL teams. And only 50 going to make the actual roster. There's a 53-man roster. There's only maybe, there's a max like 50-man roster. There's 40 people that are active, 30 to 40 people that are active during game day, with 10 people that's on the practice squad. And that's pretty much your third string or your reserves when somebody gets hurt. If they really need to find somebody, then they got to go through free agency. But if this was truly WWE, then this woman would have already been playing amongst the men now. She would have been got drafted and getting playing time. The fact of the matter is, once the helmets or shoulder pads would have came on, this woman would have got broken off completely. This woman won't even be able to tackle Antonio Brown, no Mike Evans. She's not going to be able to tackle Stephon Diggs. Definitely not no George Kittle in the open field. She would get broken in half like a fire truck running through there. She'd get tore up apart. I'm talking about a major concussion. That's something RFG ain't going to tell you because he himself can't play. RG's probably too small himself. You'll never see RG the chosen one in no helmets or shoulder pads like this woman did. That man probably didn't even play in high school. So again, y'all got to watch. Again, y'all got to do your research. Because see, WWE can make somebody like China be an intercontinental champion and wrestle somebody like Chris Jericho. But in real life, in real wrestling, no, women wrestling in their own division, men in their own division. Okay? There is this Me Too movement where a woman can do anything she want to do. No, that don't exactly work in every sport. I'm sorry, man. No, it's not WWE, and I keep telling y'all that. Because it was really WWE, then how come you keep getting every prediction wrong, RFG?
All right. Anybody with half a brain in their head knows if a professional football team is averaging 30 points a game.
That's a lie. Every team don't always average 30 points a game. They really don't. Because you got some games where the scoreboard is less than that, where teams are only putting up 14. Like, for example, again, when the Ravens played the Bills, the Ravens defense was so good that the Bills was only able to score 17 points. But vice versa, the Bills defense was so good that Lamar Jackson couldn't even score a touchdown. Okay, so no, that's a lie. Once again, this man's not watching the entire season. Okay? The Chiefs had the most 30-point games because they're their most complete team. Again, this is a team from last year. They got Patrick Mahomes. But you saw it in the playoffs, a lot of that got shut down. No, every team don't always average 30 points. That's a lie.
For 17 weeks? No, fuck that.
Matter of fact, okay, let's look at these schedules, right? Let's look at the Chiefs. Let's look at their schedule real quick, because again, a Google search gonna refute everything he says. Because this dude clearly does not understand his Let's look at the schedule. I'm gonna show y'all the average scores. Okay, let's see. Let's look at their schedule. Now let's look down. Okay, let's look down, right? Now let's look at all the teams they've been putting numbers up, right? First of all, let's look at this game here. The Falcons. I want you to look at that scoreboard, right? The Falcons against Atlanta, that was 17-14. Against the Chargers, and this was a regular season game, they lost 38-21. Okay? Okay, yeah, these two games were 32 wins, but look at the Saints, man. Right? They beat the Saints, but that was a high-scoring game against the Dolphins, high-scoring game. Denver, under 30. They beat Tampa Bay earlier in the season, y'all. Under 30 points. Okay, they beat the Raiders, but look at the Vegas Raiders. Again, team didn't make the playoffs. Against Carolina, team didn't make the playoffs. The Jets are horrible, 35-9. They are trash. Okay? Against Denver, again, Denver is a horrible team. They're under 500. The Jets were under 500. Denver was under 500. They beat the Bills, okay? So I'm just letting you know that right. But again, look at that, 26-17. It was under 30 points. They lost to the Raiders, but the Raiders came back, right? But again, the Raiders didn't make the playoffs. They beat the Patriots. Patriots didn't make the playoffs. They beat the Ravens. So again, Patrick Mahomes is better than Lamar Jackson, like I said before in the other video I made last year. Look, overtime, right? 23-20. That was not even a 30-something point game against the Houston Texans. Again, a team that didn't make the playoffs, right? 34-20. So again, yeah, look at that. Against Cleveland, 22-17. Under 30 points. So they don't always average 30 points like that all the time. Okay, that's a lie, RFG.
If a professional football team is averaging 30 points a game for 19 games, all right, and they get to the 20th game and can't score a fucking touchdown,
that just means the other team was better than them. Again, go look at y'all need to go compare rosters. Look how many Pro Bowlers the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had just this last season in the Super Bowl. Antonio Brown and Gronkowski weren't the only two veterans that was on that team. This Pierre-Paul was a former veteran, a former Pro Bowler. That team, they stacked the deck. Plus, most of those guys were first-round draft picks, like Whitehead. And Mike Evans was a first-round draft pick. Okay? Again, RFG Chosen One doesn't watch the NFL draft. He don't watch preseason. He don't watch none of these rosters like I do. No, they got beat because the Buccaneers was clearly the better team. And I showed y'all that in part 2. All those penalties. All those flags the referees have to throw, RFG, because they're not playing the game right. That's why.
The average person with half of a brain knows that is complete bullshit.
You don't have half a brain yourself. Or you be making these stupid videos that don't make sense.
All right, so we know that the colonizer pirates, all right, this is what the Buccaneers symbolize. They symbolize the invaders, the colonizer pirates, all right, also the secret society of Skull and Bones, all right,
Okay, Skull and Bones is a fraternity out of Yale that most of the presidents, like your George W. Bushes, okay, they come out of there. They ain't got nothing to do with this team here. Nothing. Okay? Because instead of a bone, there's a sword. Again, that has nothing to do with the NFL. You're going off subject, sir. Again, you cannot base that on what happened with Tom Brady's football team. Again, Skull and Bones did not start the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay? Nobody from Tampa Bay Buccaneers is a member of that organization. Again, you got to be to get in Skull and Bones, y'all, you got to be chosen. And what I mean by chosen is you got to come from a family that's rich down the line. Your family got to be high class. Matter of fact, didn't American Dad do not American Dad, I think it was Family Guy. Yeah, didn't Family Guy do an episode on Skull and Bones? Seth MacFarlane showed you that most of Skull and Bones in that cartoon were all the rich. Okay? Everybody's not going to be chosen for Skull and Bones at all. None. Once again, this guy is going off topic. This dude is literally, man, he's creating a false reality. He's making up things as he go. He don't understand what he's talking about.
The pirates, the fucking pirates of the Caribbean, going to the Caribbean islands and, tricking, deceiving, and destroying and murdering the indigenous.
Okay, but that had nothing to do with Tom Brady beating the crap out the Kansas City Chiefs.
Native Americans. All right? This is what this ritual symbolized with the Buccaneers.
And by the way, it took the Buccaneers 17 years to get here. They was pure trash. This is a Buccaneers team that's getting ran through in the last 10 years by the Atlanta Falcons, the Carolina Panthers when Cam Newton went on that MVP run, and then the New Orleans Saints in the last 3 years. This team was trash. You done had Jameis Winston. You done had Jeff Garcia. You even had whatchamacallit. You had Josh McGowan that was on that team at one time. You had Josh Freeman, the first round draft pick. All he did was get a playoff win. He didn't do nothing else. He got cut. His time came and went. You had numerous quarterbacks, numerous players. Cadillac Williams was over there. Derek Martin. You know what I'm saying? John Gruden. He only, like I said, since after John Gruden left, they just went downhill. They didn't have max players and still couldn't do nothing until Tom Brady got there. No, they spent a lot of money to get Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady's resume was proven. Okay, this is a team who for years took beatings before they even got here. And he want to bring this day. None of this stuff helped them get to where they are now. None of it.
Playing up against the Chiefs in this Super Bowl. Last Super Bowl was the Chiefs.
Oh, and before I continue, all right, RFG, formerly known as Jordan Wilkinson. Yeah, RFG. I know your real name. I watched your roommate Eli's video. Okay, in Eli's video, it was a shotgun and fight. This dude, Eli, exposed RFG for being somebody who killed his dog and went and paid for it, went and paid money. This RFG who came and paid rent. Okay? This dude got put on blast for being a scumbag, somebody that's dirty. You couldn't even get your friend exonerated. You couldn't even get Eli exonerated because you can't even testify properly. So again, this guy is mentally ill. This is somebody who's not in reality at all. He's smoking too much weed, doing too much drugs. Not to mention, Young Pharaoh Higher Perspective, who I also did a video on because I disagree with him when it came down to these presidents. But on Young Pharaoh's channel, Young Pharaoh exposed him for basically lying on him. And creeping into a married woman's DMs. Looking for an escort. So you looking at somebody that's full of crap. And when I get the chance, I will post those links in the description. No, RG, I don't know why should anybody take you seriously. Nobody should take somebody like you seriously. Because all you're doing is trying to create views so you can get easy money. Because you're not going to get no bachelor's degree. You're not going to get an AA degree, yet alone a doctorate degree, because you're not going to put that much time in schooling. Your attention span ain't that right. Ain't that good at all. You talk to these football players like we trash, don't understanding that these football players really have to earn it. Okay? Ain't nothing given. Y'all gotta understand this. Anything you want in life, you gotta work hard for it. These athletes work extremely hard to win those Super Bowls. It's not easy at all. Because you up against another opponent from the opposite team who want it just as bad as you do, as they do. For anybody that's playing football, you're gonna be up against the following team whose opponents that's working just as hard to win a championship. They're not gonna just let you walk over them. They're not gonna follow the script and let somebody who they don't like, who they hate, beat them. It just doesn't happen. I'm sorry.
Versus the 49ers. And the 49ers also represent colonizers, but they gave the Chiefs that victory.
Actually, the Chiefs earned it, man. They beat the 49ers fair and square. The 49ers had a stacked up team. Y'all saw what happened. Kyle Shanahan did what he did against the Patriots. He can't run the football at all. He's one-dimensional with all his playbooks. He's pass heavy. He likes to air it out. That man that man's clock management skills is horrible. I told you that before. That's another pick he got wrong. He didn't pick the Chiefs to go into the Super Bowl. He picked the Houston Texans. They got beat by the Chiefs.
Over the colonizers, but you see who had the last fucking laugh. Who had the last?
Tom Brady had the last laugh, which he made you look stupid. For like the 5th time, RFG. He had the last laugh. Him, Bruce Arians, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette, who ran. Again, I showed you last video. Leonard Fournette ran the Chiefs down to the ground. They had no answer for Leonard Fournette. And they barely kept him out the end zone that one play, but they couldn't stop him the rest of that game. The whole second half was Leonard Fournette's and Ronald Jones. That's who had the last laugh. The ones who got that Vince Lombardi trophy. Who all are in the process of getting rings on their finger. RFG, you don't get the last laugh because you're a loser. You lose people's money every year. You apologize and you do the same thing over again. You don't care about your subscribers, y'all. You just care about their money.
Fucking laugh, you see, at the end of the day, because the goddamn the goddamn Buccaneers, they ended up taking the treasure chest of gold, you see.
Actually, it wasn't gold. They brought home a silver trophy. Let me show you what they win. How much this thing costs. We're going to see how much a Vince Lombardi trophy costs. Because this guy is clearly, man, something is wrong with him, dude. I'm serious, man. Something is seriously wrong with this dude. They didn't take home no gold. They took home silver. Now, I want you to look at that, right? They took something that cost $50,000. This trophy cost, like the Super Bowl cost $50,000 to produce and takes 4 months and 72 hours of labor to complete. So whoever made this trophy, they got paid well. These people are getting paid like $20, maybe $30 an hour. Okay? 50 grand. Let's see how much a ring costs. For just a Super Bowl ring. A championship ring that Ron Artest auctioned his off when he won the NBA Finals. They cost a lot of money. But this dude, again, see, this is where you do your research, man. Thank God for Google. This is how you prove some of these YouTube video people wrong. Look at that. Roughly $5 million for one Super Bowl ring. $5 freaking million. That's why it's a competition. That's why this is not scripted at all. Because too much money on the line. These players are earning too much money. Because when you win a Super Bowl, you get a bonus on your paycheck, but you compete so you can get a ring that costs $5 million. So RJ, if I'm an owner and I got all this money spent, then why do I need to script it to win? When my opponent doesn't need a script to try to beat me. It don't make any sense. It's freaking stupid. Y'all see this, right? Again, this is why it's pointless to be making videos saying the NFL is scripting rings. You're not going to stop this at all. It's too much money on the line. Way too much. But the problem is RFG is betting money and losing. That's why he's so bitter. No, it's way too much money, man. No, they bring home silver. They ain't bringing home no gold.
The Pirates were after the goddamn treasure chest of gold. And when all the people bet all their money on the Chiefs to repeat and win back-to-back.
Actually, there was a lot of people who betted for Tom Brady, too. And I showed you, Casino for Life chose Tom Brady. There was a good amount of people that went for the Buccaneers. Everybody didn't go for the Chiefs. I'm sorry, RFG. But when it comes to sports spreads and betting, you're going to have people that go for Chiefs and half the people going for the Buccaneers. There are people who went for Tom Brady because they are smart. The only reason why I went against Tom Brady is because I wanted to see the Chiefs do it again. I want to see Andy Reid finally get his revenge. Like Doug Peterson was able to beat Tom Brady. But that just wasn't the case. I gave the Chiefs a benefit of the doubt. I was wrong. But no, everybody did not go for the Chiefs. Whoever went for the Buccaneers, they got a lot of money. I'm going to tell you that right. There are people who went for the Buccaneers and got paid, RFG. Not everybody. Everybody didn't go for the Chiefs. I'm sorry, sir. You don't know your football. You're just making stuff up as you go. You don't watch nothing. You don't do proper research.
Super Bowls, all right? And they ended up falling short because of the colonizer pirates. What the fuck happened?
Again, the Buccaneers are not colonizers. None of the football team don't have to colonize. They already been here for years. What they need to colonize for? It's just a competition. That's it. You going way too far. Like, the history of pirate ain't got nothing to do with Super Bowl 55. Nothing.
The Las Vegas sports books cleaned up, goddammit, and the pirates.
Yeah, and the people who went for the Buccaneers got paid a hefty amount.
Pirates collected the motherfucking gold.
And y'all gotta stand, man. Again, Vegas, you gotta stand. Vegas like a coin flip. Some people gonna go for heads, some people gonna go for tails. Again, see, RFG, if you base that on that, you got no business betting. Again, do not put your faith in someone like here and tell him who to make your picks on. This guy clearly will make you lose all your money. Like you did in 2016. When you went for the Colts and Vikings, RFG, and you lost all them people no money. I had to do a video then expose you. My very first video was on you and like 4 other YouTubers. Because y'all all chose the same thing. Y'all didn't do proper research. And I told everybody, you don't make bets before the season starts. You don't. All that spirituality, RFG, ain't had nothing to do. Because for one, I watched Sam Bradford his whole career. That dude is a complete bust. That man never once got to the playoffs at all. And Andrew Luck didn't have a team he had when he went against when he beat the Broncos in the playoffs. When he beat the Broncos playoffs, that was 2 seasons before. They did not have the same team. And yes, the coach was banged up. Andrew Luck was really hurt. Injuries aren't fake, RFG. Anyone who say injury is fake, again, they need to check themselves into a hospital. They need to be in a mental institution for at least 6 to 9 months. Because there's something seriously wrong with them. That means you never played a day in your life.
Pirates collected all of the motherfucking gold, and they took everyone's heart and soul.
Actually, nobody's heart and soul was taken in that game. RFG, your heart and soul was taken because you betted against them. That's why you pissed off in doing this video.
They took everyone's heart and soul.
Again, I told y'all, this is the results of good defense. I showed y'all this video. The Chiefs had way too many penalties that cost them. Now, let's look. Since you want to say there's no blowouts, right? Let's look at this, because this is not the only time you've seen this. Since RG want to make up that lie and say it's WWE, let's look at the history of the scoreboards, right? Let's go back and look at this, right? Now, in the very first Super Bowl, the Chiefs lost to the Green Bay Packers 35-10. This is Vince Lombardi, one of the greatest coaches of all time. The award is named after him because this man, before the merger, was winning at least 11 championships before then. Back when the AFL and the NFL was a separate team, was a separate league. Yes, the AFC was not always the NFL and NFC. There was not always an AFC and NFC. Back in the days before the NFL began the merger, the AFC was a separate league, and the NFC was a separate league. But look at this, 35-10. So that's one blowout. So I'm counting one. 16-7. That's another blowout. The Jets beat the Baltimore Colts. Kansas City Chiefs, their first victory. So again, the Chiefs did not just win 2 years ago. Patrick Mahomes' victory was the first. The Chiefs beat the Minnesota Vikings in 1970. Again, blowout. 23-7. That's the third one. So I'm already counting 3 blowouts right there. Well, actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 blowouts. Okay? And back in the 60s and 70s, was nobody talking about the league being scripted or rigged at all. This was back in our grandparents when they were young, when they were in their 20s. So the Colts beat my Cowboys. That was a close win. But look at that. Dallas, right, beat the Dolphins 24-3. That's 5 blowouts right there. And this is the game which sparked the Dolphins to go undefeated and go 14-0. Yes. The 72 Dolphins, this was the season before they went undefeated, right? They lost to my Cowboys. Okay, that's 24-3. So that's another blowout. That's 5. 14-7. Shutout. That's a 6 blowout. They beat the Minnesota Vikings 14-0. They beat the Redskins 14-7, but then they beat the Minnesota Vikings. So that's another blowout. That blowout right there. So that's the 6th blowout. Okay, so the Dolphins won 2 Super Bowls in a row. They was in 3 Super Bowls going 2 for 1. And then look at that. Pittsburgh Steelers, 16-6. Another shutout. That's 7. Okay? The Vikings lost 4 Super Bowls. But the Raiders, this is when the Steelers had the steel curtain. So let's go down, right? So I'm already looking at 6 blowouts. The Cowboys beat the Broncos 27-10. That's the 7th blowout. So I'm already counting 7 blowouts. Look at the Oakland Raiders beat the Philadelphia Eagles 1981. That's the 8th blowout, 27-10. That's a shutout. Okay, let's go down the line. Look at the Redskins won a Super Bowl. Look at the LA Raiders. Now this was the Marcus Allen Raiders. Okay, 38-9. That's another shutout. RFG, your chosen one. That's 9. You don't know your history, bro. You need to freaking stop it. Okay, stop lying to your subscribers. That's why we do research, to prove you wrong. You don't know a thing you talk about. Wasn't nobody talking about the league being scripted rigged until YouTube came on. Let's just keep it real. Look at 38-9. The Redskins was trapped. They were not that good. Yeah, the Redskins was one of the best NFC teams. They just could not match up with the Raiders. And this is when the Raiders was a dynasty. They was a powerhouse. Look at that. The 49ers, right? Joe Montana, look at that. Look at that, man. 55-10. John Elway got the hell beat out of him. That's 10 blowouts. Look, that's the 10th blowout. The 49ers, back when Jerry Rice and you had Ronnie Lott. Okay? Look at that. 55-10. That's another blowout. That's 10 blowouts right there. Dallas Cowboys beat the Buffalo Bills 52-17. They put up 52 points in 1993. Bills lost 4 in a row, RFG. Getting blown out both by my Cowboys. Look at that. 52-17. That's 11. The other year, 2 years in a row, right? 93-94. Look at that. The 11th time, right? 30-13. Another blowout. 11 blowouts, right? I'm counting. Look at the 49ers when they placed the Chargers. 49-26. That's 12. Cowboys beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-17. I'm not going to necessarily count that as a blowout because that game was close. Okay, I'll give them that. They fought. They put up more than 2 touchdowns. They put up 2 touchdowns and a field goal, but Dallas still had a advantage. So I'm already counting 12 blowouts. Let's go down the line. Right, let's keep going. Y'all see these scoreboards. I want y'all to pay very close attention because look at that. Now, the Ravens back in 2001, this is when Shannon Sharp, you had Ray Lewis, and you had Ray Lewis. That Ray Lewis team with Jamal Lewis, they blew the New York Giants out 34-7. So that's 13 blocks. This is long before Eli Manning. This is when Eli Manning, I believe, was in high school or middle school then. This is a Giants team that had Kerry Collins at quarterback, Tiki Barber, Rondé's twin brother. You had Jason Sehorn, one of the fastest Caucasian DBs in the league. But that team was no match for the Baltimore Ravens. Look at that. 34-7. Okay? And even then, you had in 99, you had the Broncos beating the crap out of the Atlanta Falcons. That's already 14 blowouts right there. Okay? Look at that. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is the only other time they won a Super Bowl. 48-21. That's a shutout.